What if your car wasn't just a mode of transport, but your best friend, your co-pilot, and your savior in a pinch? That's not just a wild idea. It's KITT, the Knight Industries 2000. A car so advanced, so alive, it redefined what we thought vehicles could be. But was KITT really the best to ever exist? Before we hit the gas on this nostalgic ride, make sure to subscribe. It helps us reach more gearheads like you, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Back in 1982, Knight Rider was more than just a TV show. It was a cultural moment, introducing a generation to the concept of technology with heart. At its core was KITT, a sleek, black, turbocharged 1982 Pontiac Trans Am. But calling KITT just a car would be like calling the Mona Lisa just a painting. This wasn't a vehicle. It was a revolution wrapped in a glossy black finish, equipped with a glowing red scanner that mesmerized audiences every time it lit up the screen. But what if I told you that the red scanner you remember so well wasn't just for show? The tech behind it was way more than just a cool visual effect. Let's dive into how this scanner became one of the most iconic parts of KITT and how it changed TV forever. KITT's red scanner wasn't just an aesthetic touch. It symbolized its intelligence and vigilance. Inspired by Cylon designs from Battlestar Galactica, the scanner gave KITT an almost human-like eye, making it feel alive. Fans often compared it to a heartbeat, a pulsing reminder that KITT wasn't your average car. Fun fact, the sound of the scanner moving was created using a synthesizer, adding to the futuristic vibes that define the series. KITT wasn't just visually stunning, it represented a dream. The dream of a car that could think, talk, and even feel like a trusted partner. For many viewers, KITT became the peak of coolness, combining muscle car aggression with futuristic innovation. It wasn't just about the chases or the stunts, though those were undeniably awesome. It was about the relationship between Michael Knight and KITT, a dynamic that made us believe this car was more than metal and circuits. It was alive. Let's talk about the car behind the legend. The 1982 Pontiac Trans Am was already a muscle car icon before it was transformed into KITT. Its aerodynamic body, aggressive T-top design, and roaring V8 engine made it a staple of American muscle cars in the 1980s. But under the vision of the Knight Rider team, the Trans Am evolved into something far greater. The modifications turned heads, sleek black paint that absorbed the light, a futuristic dashboard that looked more like a spaceship's cockpit, and of course, the pulsating red scanner that instantly made KITT stand out from anything else on the road. The Trans Am wasn't just chosen for its looks, though. Its performance capabilities were perfect for the high-speed chases and stunts that defined Knight Rider. The base car offered speed, power, and flair, while the upgrades made it otherworldly. Interestingly, General Motors didn't officially sponsor Knight Rider, so the production team had to purchase the Pontiac Trans Ams for KITT out of pocket. To make the car perform those jaw-dropping stunts, they customized multiple versions of the Trans Am. Some were built for high-speed chases, others for turbo boost jumps, and a few were just shells for those explosive crash scenes. It's estimated that over 20 Trans Ams were sacrificed in the making of the show, each one playing its part in creating TV history. KITT's artificial intelligence was the show's crown jewel. While the world was still grappling with clunky personal computers, Knight Rider dared to imagine a future where cars could think for themselves. KITT was more than just advanced, it was practically sentient. Programmed with a self-preservation instinct, moral decision-making, and a full range of human-like emotions, KITT was no ordinary machine. It could assess threats, calculate probabilities, and outwit villains faster than Michael Knight could deliver his next one-liner. Think KITT's AI was impressive? Wait until you hear about how one of its most famous features was inspired by something most of us take for granted, your personal assistant. But it wasn't just about helping Michael Knight. KITT had a secret skill that set it apart from any AI of its time. It could also learn from experiences, making it a dynamic, evolving character. What really set KITT apart was its voice, provided by actor William Daniels. Daniels refused to be credited during the show's initial run, believing it would take away from KITT's mystique. This decision paid off. Viewers often forgot there was an actor behind that silky, authoritative tone. Daniels recorded his lines in isolation, meaning he never met David Hasselhoff during the series' production. But let's not forget the humor. KITT's dry wit and sarcastic comments gave the show a layer of charm that few other TV vehicles could match. Who could forget KITT's quips like, "Michael, I'm not programmed to deal with your recklessness"? It was this blend of intelligence and personality that made KITT feel real. Now, it's time to get into tech. KITT was way ahead of his time. He was centuries, light years ahead of his time. Imagine this, a car with bodywork that has the molecular bonded structure, which made it almost impossible to destroy. Bullets? Child's play. Explosions? Barely a scratch. With KITT's armor, it could remain as invulnerable as a tank. All the elements the show's writers could come up with were no issue for KITT. Next, there was this powerful feature called the Turbo Boost, through which this car called KITT actually flew over a number of barriers. Each time that button was pushed and people watched, they witnessed things that in today's television drama one could only dream of. Speaking of stunts, Turbo Boost scenes of KITT were marvelous, all because of the old school special effects. Because the ramps were employed to launch the car to the air, the crew sometimes took shots from different viewpoints in order to turn it into an action-packed sequence. These scenes were not theatrical contrivances. They actually influenced the course of automotive safety. Some of the engineers have attributed knowledge in the early days from Knight Rider in aspects such as collision avoidance systems, as well as improved suspension systems. Of course, there's little mention of the Super Pursuit mode, which kicked KITT's performance up to warp speed while simultaneously making it look sleek and killer on the road. KITT's arsenal didn't stop there. The car had a microwave jammer to disrupt enemy electronics, a smoke screen for quick getaways, and even an ejection seat for when things got really hairy. Oh, and if you thought losing your keys was a problem, KITT had self-driving capabilities that allowed it to pick up Michael wherever he was. Decades before Tesla, KITT was already setting the bar for autonomous driving. Although all of the tech was undeniably terrific, the true power of KITT was in its interaction with Michael Knight. While David Hasselhoff definitely provided the charm and charisma necessary for the show, it was his dialogue with KITT that made the program heartfelt. Michael's car is not an object, it's a friend, a guide, and in many cases, the only sane thing around during these action-filled sequences. This made KITT believable, although none of the people watching the series would have any idea of the difference between a carburetor and a catalytic converter. It was not about simple rescuing as seen in many science fiction movies, but about trust and friendship, and that technology is not empty steel. KITT's interaction with Michael Knight wasn't only created to provide plot, it reflected a main social hope. You may think KITT was just another car buddy show, but it's actually much deeper than that. What if I told you the creators of Knight Rider were secretly trying to show the world something about the future of human-technology relationships? Stick around, because the truth behind KITT's emotional bond with Michael will surprise you. The idea of the 1980s was in complete agreement with the content and sentiment of the song, because during the decade, technology was developing at an incredible rate. People believed that machines will take the place of people. KITT simply reversed that and made it possible for technology to work as a counterpart to humanity rather than as a rival. It was a partner, not a threat, the essence of which rings all the more highly today in an artificial intelligence environment. Knight Rider was not just a television show, it was a success story of the 80s. KITT was transformed into a representation of what the future was and, as such, may be a complement to technology. With toys, video games, and the conventions these shows created, these franchises continued well past the last episode. Many years later, now people remember KITT as one of the most remarkable and recognizable television cars ever. It was truly made famous beyond the television set, perhaps to every household of the time. Knight Rider merchandise was at one point completely saturating, spanning lunchboxes to toys to video games. Among all those, the most popular were KITT, the toy car that had a real red scanner. Fans attempted to bring a real-life KITT in the late 2000s by installing mods in their own Pontiac Trans Am, including LED scanners, voice modules, and custom dashboard. In fact, it is proof of how far this iconic car has become part of popular culture. Its themes are present in movie series of today's franchises such as Fast and Furious and Transformers, which are still dealing with human technology interaction. So, could we recreate KITT in the real world? With modern advancements in AI, autonomous driving, and materials science, we're closer than ever. Companies like Tesla and Google are already developing self-driving cars with impressive capabilities. Bulletproof materials and advanced sensors are also widely available. KITT wasn't just about the tech, it was about personality. Recreating KITT's charm, wit, and emotional intelligence is still a challenge for even the most advanced AI. Sure, your car might be able to drive itself and play your favorite Spotify playlist, but can it deliver a perfectly timed sarcastic remark? Not yet. But here's an interesting twist. Modern researchers are using KITT as inspiration for emotional AI. Programs like ChatGPT and virtual assistants are being trained to emulate KITT's blend of helpfulness and humor. Imagine asking your car to tell a joke while navigating traffic. It's proof that the Knight Rider vision wasn't just entertainment, it was a glimpse into the future of human-machine interaction. KITT isn't just a relic of 1980s television, it's a symbol of possibility. It showed us that technology doesn't have to be intimidating or cold. It can be friendly, relatable, and even fun. In an era where our gadgets are becoming smarter by the day, KITT's legacy reminds us to dream big and imagine what's possible when we blend innovation with heart. So, what's your favorite KITT moment? Could today's smart cars ever measure up to this legendary muscle car? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the ride, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Muscle Car Vault. Until next time, keep chasing the impossible.